Stay tuned for the fact check. It's where the party's at.
Hi.
Hello.
Cute jacket.
Oh, thank you. Instagram impulse buy.
Really?
Got one in this color and one in blue.
From where?
Marine Layer?
We like Marine Layer.
Right?
Yeah.
That's a place.
Mm-hmm.
That's a thing.
Our sweatshirts were from Marine Layer for a little while.
Yeah, I like this quilted thing.
Yeah, quilted is nice.
That's what we call. Well, what one's quilted for comfort? The toilet tissue.
Oh,
Charmin?
Charmin.
The quilted quicker. Well, that's a paper towel.
Yeah, that's paper
right?
towel.
The quicker picker. This is Mandela effect. We've created.
Wow.
People are like, do you think there's a product called Charmin's Quilted, the Quicker Picker Upper?
People would say yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Because it's Bounty.
Bounty, the Quicker Picker Upper.
But the Bounty doesn't have the same alliteration as Charmin and Quicker.
Charmin, Quicker Picker Upper.
Yeah.
How's your morning?
My morning was good. Every 2 weeks, I get a flower delivery on Friday from Flamingo Estate.
Okay.
And it's really exciting.
It is. You've signed up for a bi-weekly annual sitch.
Yeah.
Do they spice it up? Is it a different bouquet every time?
Yes. So you don't know what you're going to get.
So you have anticipation. What will it look like?
Yes. And it's always from a cool, farm.
They find a guy who just has one flower bed in his backyard.
Very limited edition.
Yeah.
Very
extra small micro business.
Today it was ranunculus, and they're orange.
Oh, that's the name of something.
Flower.
Ranunculus?
Mm-hmm. And they're orange, and they're so pretty. I did lose a little track of time because I was cutting the ends, and I was, cleaning up the stems.
Yeah.
And
Easter egg. We just learned a fascinating fact from somebody. It's a rule in sketch comedy.
Uh-huh.
It's not our rule.
Yeah.
But it's if a man comes in to pick a woman up on a date in a sketch,
yes,
have him bring chocolates, not flowers. So if you bring flowers, the audience starts getting very distracted.
Well, they got to put them in a vase.
Oh my gosh, she's got to get those in a vase, got to give them in water, and you can't even pay attention to the
I know,
sketch.
it's so smart. These delivery services.
Yeah.
They can really brighten your day. I would recommend that for a gift.
Yeah, that sounds like a good gift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I did try to gift this exact thing today.
Oh, today.
Today's Callie's birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, Callie.
Happy birthday, Callie. And I was going to get her this weekly Bloom bundle.
Right, the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah, but it's sold out.
Oh, okay. All right.
So I can't.
That's the problem when you go with these micro growers that only have one flower bed in their backyard.
Yeah, they run out.
Yeah, it's a really great idea, but then in practice.
It's part of the fun. It's part of the limited edition element.
Okay, so I don't want to say this, and I just really can't control myself to not say it.
Okay.
Because I got to get out of the habit of addressing commenters.
Yeah, I would prefer not because that's why I don't look at them.
Yeah. But I just want to make this simple point because people, Jonathan Haidt will be on. So people are like, he's so anti-technology and he doesn't know and it brought people together and blah, blah, blah. Great. But I was just thinking, what I like about our show is we have Reid Hoffman on. He's a techno-optimist.
Yeah.
You get to hear the full sales pitch for why technology is great. And then we have Jonathan Haidt on, and you get to hear the full sales pitch on why it's bad. Mm-hmm. And instead of being angry at these guests who have a different point of view, I would really wish people would be grateful that they got to hear the counterpoint to what they believe. I mean, that's what I so enjoy about the show.
Yeah.
And guess what? I don't know which one I think.
Yeah.
It's like I half believe what Reid's saying and I half believe what Jonathan's saying. I don't agree with Jonathan.
Yeah.
But I'm so grateful to hear a very smart person
we got to hear
tell me the opposite point of view that I have. And I just wish people could click into that's a gift to hear someone with a different point of view tell you what the opposite side thinks. It's not shut that person down and get them out of here and I don't like what they're saying.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, if we only had one sides of all these debates, I think that would be a pretty reasonable criticism.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. That was burning a hole in my Go ahead.
You know what I'm going to say.
Yeah, I want to hear it.
It might sound disrespectful to the audience, what I'm about to say.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that. I love our audience so much. I
Yeah.
love the Armcharies. I'm so grateful that people listen to us. But I don't care.
Right. That's healthy.
If they don't like an episode. I also personally, I don't believe it. I don't believe that what you're reading is indicative of what people think. And that, it bums me out that you get like ensnared.
Well, some woman told me, I need to apologize for saying young men are disenfranchised. And I said, apologize to who? Like, who am I apologizing to?
I know, but this is the like.
I know. It's really tricky. Now, I'd say the good news is like, I'm not going to change at all what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm subject to altering how I'm going to invite Jonathan on and invite Reid Hoffman on. It's going to have no impact on how I do the show. I think I have I do have maybe an arrogant, delusional belief I could explain the value of hearing this, and people might lock into it and go like, oh, you know what? I'm going to stop blasting everyone I disagree with. It's okay to disagree with people. You don't have to hate them.
Yeah.
Jonathan's a great guy. I totally disagree with a lot of what he's saying, you know? But so I have this stupid belief I can encourage people to embrace this. And that's my own delusion.
It's a delusion, but you're only seeing like one piece of the whole puzzle.
You're so right.
You don't know who you're even talking to.
No, you're absolutely right. And I do think about that. So like naturally, your and I's debate about men and women.
Obviously.
Yeah, it was very polarizing. I expected that, and that's totally fine.
Yeah.
And I get it. I get it from both. I totally understand from both sides. But yeah, it's like 50 people. You know, on either side, out of millions of people.
It could literally be one person. This is what I'm saying.
Oh, that's like, got 30 accounts.
Yes, this is my point. Like, to get wrapped up in it, your strongest trigger is getting taken advantage of. But when you react like this, I think you've been taken advantage of.
Because I got wound up about it. Well,
and you don't even know. Like,
but what's perfect about it is a facet of this thing I obsess about without the comments.
Yeah.
Right? So your big concern is women's reproductive rights, which makes total sense.
It's a concern, yeah.
Yeah, but it's like a very paramount concern, and rightly so.
Yeah.
And you'll think about that a lot, you know?
If it feels threatened. I don't think about it on a regular basis. But if it's threatened, yes, of course.
And I'm regularly so scared about the inability for people to listen to one another.
Yeah.
I'd like think about it too much. And it really frustrates me and it scares me. I'm scared of the future where there's two camps on the planet and they don't talk to each other.
Can we deep dive?
Yeah.
Why is that so scary to you? Like, of course it's bad, right? Like, I think it's bad too. I'm like, this is a huge problem, but I don't have this reaction that you have. And I wonder, I mean, obviously we know that if anything's like causing that much of a reaction, it's something else. It's something about us or our past or our, like the fear is about us.
Yeah, I guess probably dysfunction. I grew up in dysfunction. I grew up in two parents that hated each other till they got divorced, like dysfunction.
Yeah.
Not rising to one's best self to navigate these things. We have gotten embarrassingly dysfunctional.
Yeah.
And I see the total root of the dysfunction is us against them.
Yeah.
And I see that as such a toxic quality. And I have children that are entering a world and I care about the world for them. So yeah, it really bothers me really deeply because my childhood was plagued by dysfunction and two people not communicating and it's winner takes all. And I hate that situation.
Yeah.
It wasn't compromise. It wasn't working together it was, you know, as I always say, the paradigm everyone needs to wrap their head around is we're married. The left and the right are married. We all live in the same country. And so we have a Gottman approach through this marriage, or we have a fucking, what's the famous War of the Roses version of this marriage. And I lived through the War of the Roses versions of the marriages. And so for me, I didn't want that in my life when I grew up. And then when I feel ensconced in a whole society that's way, and then I put out a show and I see people saying, you know, Haidt's a conservative, whatever, like they've just written him off. I think I've said this before, but it's like one time we went out to, and this is a ding, 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 because it came up on an episode yesterday we recorded, but Ted Olson, you know, this, he was the most successful Supreme Court. He argued in front of the Supreme Court more times and more successfully than anyone else. And he, very confusingly, from my perspective, both won Citizens United, which is a very right cause, giving businesses personhood, but he also defeated DOMA. And he believed in both of those deeply. We had a dinner with him, and there was 3 of us liberals, and then him, and we started kind of hitting him with all of our points of view. And then I said, hold on a second. We have an opportunity to be with one of the smartest people in the world who has a different point of view from us.
Yeah.
What an opportunity to hear the best version of this point of view that I disagree with.
If you want to look at it in a way that's selfish, it's good to hear the other person's point of view so that you know how to combat it.
Well, you'll find if you combat it, some of their pushback will make some of your points fall flat. And those are points you need to rethink or jettison or figure out another way. But it's as much as you can learn from them, you also learn the weaknesses of your own point of view.
Yeah.
Which I like. I'm arguing with people all the time and I get to one and I'm like, that's not a good point. I got to get rid of that. And that can't really be a part of my...
I also think you are in a program that requires self-reflection, growth, checking yourself. And so I do think you're extra...
I'm extra.
Hurt. No. It bothers you more when you see people who aren't doing that or don't care to do it.
Yeah.
But there's just a lot of people who don't. And I guess I respect that bothers you. To me, I think if that bothered me, I would die. Like, that'd be too much. Like, I can't take on that people don't want to change. That's not my job to make people want to change. And, you know, like, I can only do me.
I just wish everyone thought I'm holding all my beliefs in my hand right now. And they're certainly not the best version of my beliefs. They're going to evolve. Hopefully. That's what they're supposed to do.
Yes.
So you don't have the complete finished version of your beliefs and your points of view in your hand.
People really have a huge problem with wishy-washiness.
Right. They say that as
I've heard that
weakness.
A lot. Like flip-flopping and a lot about politicians. They say that a lot about politicians, that, they said this and now they're saying this.
Yeah, if you catch them having changed their opinion.
Right. Yeah. I find that so strange.
Yeah, it's really disappointing.
Why can't they should be changing their opinion? It's so weird to me. It's so much worse to me that they would have said something so long ago, felt stuck in saying that, and now they just have to believe that forever. That's a big problem, but both sides hate that.
Yes.
Which I really do not understand.
Yeah.
It feels very backwards, but again, like, I can't get that riled up about other people feeling that way because I can't change them.
But I think you're right. I think this whole thing feels like dysfunctional family to me.
Yeah.
And I hate it.
Yeah.
And I want everyone to be a bigger version of themselves, myself included.
Yeah.
And it's disheartening to live in a dysfunctional family, which is this country.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you think that it's because when your dysfunctional family ended in pain for you specifically, and pain for your mom, and pain,
all involved.
Pain for all involved.
The stepdads were miserable afterwards. Their children were miserable.
Because I think not everyone. I'm sure some people are spared this, but there's a fair amount of dysfunction that happens in a lot of families, and I think I also grew up with
some dysfunction.
Dysfunction amongst the adults, but they didn't split up over it. Obviously, for me, having grown up and seeing things I didn't like, I think, well, I can't do that. Like for my life, that I don't want to replicate that. But I also am kind of like it sort of worked out and it's kind of fine. And I don't know.
If I were you, I might want to challenge me by saying, maybe everyone's happy with this, which is also possible, you know? Maybe right now the right's super pumped and they're pigs and shit, and the left is vindicated and validated and feeling even more self-righteous. Maybe everyone's getting exactly what they want out of this. And so that's an interesting thing for me to consider. Like, you're trying to fix something that people will like. As much
that's true.
They might not want to say they like this, maybe they do.
Yeah.
Maybe the person that's like, Jonathan Haidt's a monster, felt awesome.
Yeah.
And told 9 of their friends they did that, and they love it.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to
I also think people, I mean, again, the generous offering is that they want their opinion
to be
heard and seen.
Yeah.
And they want to feel, people just want to feel like a person who exists. I mean, we all just want proof that we exist.
Yeah.
And that is a version of it.
I will watch them exist and validate them without that approach. They don't need that approach.
Yeah.
You know? But I know I sound like, and that's why I said I didn't want to say anything. If I were in that, I'd be like, just, hey, shut the fuck up about the counters. Just stop reading. I fully get that criticism, and it's true. Mm-hmm. It is true. But yes, it is a perfect little encapsulation of this other thing I spend too much time obsessing about. And if I were really working my AA program, I would just accept this.
Yeah.
I would accept that that's how it is.
There's nothing you can do.
And if someone's attracted to my approach, that'll be appealing to them.
Exactly.
More so than me saying someone should have this approach.
Yes, I agree.
And I should just have faith in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny that you brought up hating, because on my ride here, I was listening to a podcast and they were talking about Meghan Markle, and they weren't saying that they hated her, but they were saying like there is this like vitriol around her, and there is, and it was it was interesting because it did make me think. People
really dined out.
They like
on her show.
Oh yeah, but people like really hate strangers. Like to me, that is so interesting. And then I was thinking, I was like, who do I hate?
Well, I think we're hardwired to do it right. We're hardwired to extremely punish someone who has values and morals outside of our in-group, and make a emblem of them, right? So I do think when someone represents some, I don't even know how they articulate why they hate her, but she's interesting though. I have a story about this, but I want you to expound more.
No, I was just going to ask if you hated anyone.
When they first, when you were going to ask if I hate her?
Hated anyone.
Oh.
Because I was like, I don't act, when I really think about it, I mean, I don't hate any strangers, and even people in my life who I like, who I do have like friction or cause stress.
Yeah.
I don't hate them. Like, I don't think I hate anyone, actually.
I hate a couple people in public. I hate Tucker Carlson.
Right.
I just think he's a smug bully. I don't even really give a fuck about his politics. It's just the smug bulliness about it.
Yeah.
Is there anyone else? Like, I'm trying to imagine. And if you're saying you hate them, you have to take it to the, like, literally you hate them to the degree if you saw them in person, you'd go, you're a fucking asshole.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I think the only person I can think of him that if I met him in real life, I'd go, you're a fucking piece of shit.
Right.
Would be him.
Yeah, I feel like I remember one time years and years and years ago, probably when I was babysitting and we were playing games and stuff, Catan. I think I said something like, ugh, I hate this. and you said you say hate a lot.
We've talked about this before.
Well, it's been a minute, probably.
Yeah.
I was saying it just as a random word, really.
As an adjective.
Yeah, it didn't carry the weight that it was carrying for you. But then I was like, yeah, that is a big word to be sort of throwing around.
Yeah.
And I think I don't really say it as much.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I used to say it too. I think that's one of the aspects of my point of view shifting of moving to California that I liked a lot.
Yeah.
I think when I was in Michigan, I had a very long list of enemies. People we hated.
All right.
A lot of people we were against.
Interesting. Wait, back to
back to Meghan Markle.
Yeah.
So I didn't even see it, but I saw some of the Oprah thing. Their very first interview, right? And a friend of mine from England let it rip on her. Like, can you fucking believe this? Blah, blah, blah. Like, just outrage, right? And this friend, I really respect. Their intelligence, their empathy, the whole thing. This person's a very admirable person.
Yes, I agree.
And so I had to really force myself to imagine, how could he have this strong of a reaction?
Yeah.
And the scenario I painted in my head was, and I think I've already told you this, when Obama was in office, a Russian kid comes to the D.C., falls in love with Malia, takes her to Moscow. He and her go on their biggest television show and shit all over Obama and accuse him of being racist and just trash the country under the guise of this Russian dude. And I was like, yeah, I would fucking hate that guy. I would absolutely hate him. And there's a layer of patriotism that has to be acknowledged that we all carry. And if I do think of that scenario, I just know I would hate the Russian guy who took Malia to Russia for the rest of her life and they go on TV all the time and shit on America. I would hate that guy. I don't understand the Americans who hate her so much, but I do understand the British backlash. They took the prize son. They all liked him more than the other one.
Right. But taking is so like he didn't have a mind of his own.
Oh, I know.
I mean, then
I'd be saying Malia doesn't have a mind of her own. But if Malia left with this Russian dude,
made the
never
choice
to return.
I mean, yeah.
And then went on Russian television and shit on America.
But
I'd hate the whole scenario.
I guess, I don't know. I don't know that I would. I think I would be like, yikes.
No, but him, you got to evaluate him. You got to evaluate the dude.
That's the part I actually can't relate to. Like, for me, Harry made a choice about his life and his family.
Yeah.
And I don't see it as this woman took him away. A
siren who called him to the rocks of America.
Exactly. I see it as a man who made a choice based on a lot of things, including the death of his mother.
Yeah.
And so I don't have a problem with him being like, there's a lot of fucked up shit over there and I had to leave it.
But I think we have clarity on that one because we don't have the in-group patriotic bias.
True. But I think if Malia left and married this Russian person, and then they went on Russian TV and they were talking about it and she was saying look, the White House was horrible and the media in America was horrible and this is what they did and this is what happened.
But really quick, I'm not talking about Harry and Meghan.
Right.
I'm talking about this theoretical Malia and this guy.
I know. Yeah.
I would go, oh, you hate the media? You're on the biggest fucking show in Russia. You can't hate the media and then willingly participate in their biggest media outlet.
Well, they hate the
You're such
media.
a fucking hypocrite.
Well, no.
That's what I would say to this imaginary people who's on the biggest media outlet in Russia complaining about media attention.
But I'm saying they speak specifically about British media.
Tabloids.
Yes, and we have had enough people on who have corroborated that the British
I want to be clear.
tabloids.
I understand why. I am not, none of this opinion is about those two.
No, I know,
This is my, but I do have strong knee-jerks about this theoretical defecting of Malia to Russia and being on TV, complaining about being on TV.
I guess I don't. I just don't. Like, I think if they were like, because we have to make it equal. I mean, look, we have obviously media issues, but it's not the same.
Well, let's just say it's the scenario I painted is actually less impactful than the one that really happened because Malia was never going to inherit the presidency.
Yeah. Well,
Harry could inherit the kingship.
No.
Yeah, his brother would have to die.
No, then it goes to the son, William's son. Harry can't be the king.
Okay, when the son dies, he could be the king.
Okay, it's
There's a long list.
Yeah.
Okay, would they give the kingship to a 7-year-old? I don't think.
Yeah, like
I want to do a little digging on this.
Joffrey.
There's no inheritance in the presidency, so the scenario I'm painting is even less impactful.
I agree. I mean, that's why we don't. It's like hard to make this equivalency, but also like. Why should he possibly stay in this thing that he sees as fucked up?
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't know. I just commend.
But an outsider came in, and then the beloved person left. And that's easy correlation to get upset about.
I mean, look,
maybe Harry would have defected on his own without a wife that was American. Mm-hmm. That's possible.
Yeah.
But we don't really know because it didn't happen that way.
But we also, you know, more than anyone that like if you're in love with someone and people around you are not treating that person well.
Yeah, you got to protect them.
You're going to protect them and you're going to ultimately say, fuck this. Like this is a problem. We're going to go now.
Yes, but so I already agree. I understand why he left, and I would have left.
Yeah.
1,000%.
You're just saying you understand why people don't like it.
I
totally
understand why people
too.
don't like her that are English.
Right.
It's not hard for me to understand.
It's not hard for me to understand. I do wish they would take a second look at it. Like, it doesn't affect them. It really doesn't.
Well, they lost their cutest royal family member.
Get over it. Like, I mean.
And I hate royalty.
Yeah.
But I understand something you value getting, quote, taken from you. Not even say taken. I understand losing something you value. So it's like they do value that. I can't understand it.
No, sure.
The notion of like
I actually
royalty.
can understand that weirdly.
Right. You like royalty.
I can buy into the royal family and thinking that's cool and that's a part of your history. And I do get that. Yeah. Even that, like even feeling that way, I don't think I would feel personally injured by one of them going to live their life. I think differently. I think people don't like her because they think she's fake. People think she's fake. People think she's mean, but she pretends to be nice. Like there's a lot of... And then with the new show, they're like, what is this? She's just moving pretzels from one bag to another bag. This is stupid.
I don't know that reference, but I'm laughing right now because the description was really funny. Meghan Markle, I didn't see that, so I'm not laughing at.
You know what? I'm not laughing either because it's clear that she does like it. It's not, I don't think it's fake. It may seem ridiculous to someone who's like living a life, going to work and having to come home and then turning that on.
Living paycheck to paycheck.
Exactly. Turning it on and seeing that her day is spent moving pretzels from one bag into another bag.
Well, now I really want to watch this episode.
It's like, that's a very simple explanation. She's having a guest over and she's gonna put together this like cute little tray by the bed for the guest that has like flowers and stuff. And then she like buys these pretzels, I think with peanut butter. They look delicious.
Okay.
And she put them in another, she took them out of the bag. She put them in another cute little bag and put like
so you've watched it.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah. And put them like, wrote peanut butter pretzels and like tied it up. Made it cute.
Cute font, yeah.
She made it cute.
Yeah.
And I think that does bring her joy.
Yeah, sure.
I don't think that's a lie.
Right.
And so it's kind of what we talked about before with the podcasts, the like men's podcasts and stuff.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, just don't watch it.
Yeah.
If you think this is sort of offensive because your life, it's not reflective of your life.
Stay tuned for more Armchair Expert, if you dare.
I bet the core thing that people are triggered by is like, why does this woman get a show about the things she likes?
Yes.
Why don't I have, why would I actually build birdhouses?
Right.
I actually do X, Y, or Z.
Yeah.
And I do think it's easy to think in some abstract way, she got something that you deserved more.
Right.
As if her thing took from you.
Yeah.
And that in general, people who don't deserve things are taking opportunities.
Yeah.
That should go to deserving people.
Right. Yeah.
You can quickly get into some very large moral imperative stuff.
Well, yes, because who deserves anything? Like do we inherently, we deserve like dignity.
Uh-huh.
But to me, other than that, we as people don't like come out deserving of money or I don't know. It's a weird thing.
I'm yes and no.
Yeah.
Yes and no. There's like a nihilist version of me that I can tap into pretty easily, which is like, who's kidding who? We're all staying busy on this circular globe until we die.
Yeah.
There's no God. There's no one is evaluating what should and shouldn't and better and worse. Like we're just all distracting ourselves in the most entertaining fashion we can manage until we're dead.
Yeah.
So there's that version where it's like, yeah, what are you talking about? You don't deserve, you deserve, for 300,000 years, you deserve to come out without clothes on and be ill-equipped for this world. In the best case scenario, you ate and had a kid. So the notion that you, at some point, a TV show was a human right.
Yeah, exactly.
Or a cell phone's a human right. Or I hate to say it, that healthcare is a human right. These are all really, really incredible modern privileges.
Yeah, they're advanced privileges, yes.
Okay. And now also on the other side, yes, Brené Brown deserves a podcast more than a lot of people because she has spent a good chunk of her life acquiring knowledge that is useful to other people.
Yeah.
And yes, she does. I would have to be lying to say that the guy in front of 7-Eleven who's repeating the same sentence over and over again should have the same level of success on a podcast that Brené Brown has. I can acknowledge some people do deserve the success more than others because they've put more effort into it and they have more dedication and they have more skill. Jordan deserves his 6 titles more than a lot of the players. It's not like everyone who entered the NBA deserves 6 titles. You know?
I just mean we don't all deserve to be a basketball. That's my whole point. We don't come out deserving everything.
Right.
We have different skills and privileges and things that allow us to like live the life we're gonna live. But I don't know that we deserve. Like I don't know that Brené. Of course, I love her, so I think she deserves.
Yeah, we're biased.
Yeah, but the 7-Eleven guy, if
his one sentence repeated over and over again.
If it is one sentence repeated over and over and over again, has a massive impact on people.
Yeah.
And it changes their life and it like makes them think about the world differently. He deserves it.
Absolutely. But what I think is even more interesting is so I feel that way about that topic. But what I can admit and acknowledge is there's another scenario you could paint that is the same principle at hand.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll go the other way.
Yeah.
I think that's what's much more fascinating and more fun to pay attention to is This illusion that I have a consistent policy.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't.
Yeah, none of us do.
And what really happens is I look at the person and generally I like them or I don't like them on some weird gut level. And I'm generally accepting of the things that people do that I like. And I'm critical of the things from people I don't like.
Yes.
And I frame it under this well thought out logic I have.
Yeah.
And it's just so inconsistent that I have to acknowledge.
Yeah.
There's a lot of going on.
I do think so much of dislike, though, is jealousy.
Oh, yeah.
In general, and for all of us. If we dislike a lot, not always. Of course, there's like people who do horrible shit to other people.
Yeah.
You're going to dislike that. But like when you're just like irked by someone who you don't know.
Yeah.
It's probably because there's something that you're triggered that you wish you had. Or, I mean, again, this thing she's presenting is perfection, right? Like she's able to make her own honey. She has this bee farm.
She has her own bees?
Yeah, she has her own bees and she makes her own honey and then she makes these like
Have I told you bees have rebounded?
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
It's like great news. Remember that panic we were all in? They've totally rebounded.
Because of her.
Perhaps.
Oh my God.
So we all heard that credit.
Wow. That is good news.
Yeah.
But like she makes her own like raspberry preserves and like because she has a raspberry bush. And so people are like, I want a raspberry bush and I
want to spend my day doing this nice fun stuff.
Exactly.
Well, there's probably that. And then there's also Martha Stewart.
Yeah.
There's Martha Stewart who has spent her entire life really becoming a master at all these things.
Yep.
And then she has a show, and by God, it's very, very helpful and useful to people because she's a master.
Yes.
And so if you're comparing these two people and they both have a similar size show, I can understand people being a little frustrated.
Right.
It would appear that one person really is now benefiting from their dedication and love for their whole life.
Yeah.
To something. That's a good story.
Yeah.
Versus like, and I could do this. I'm not a good woodworker, but I bet your ass I could sell a show to Netflix tomorrow about me with a wood shop building things.
Yeah.
And if I was a master woodworker, I'd be like, this is bullshit. Why is it? And that would be fair. And also, if I want to do a show about woodworking and I think it's fun and people are interested in it, why can't I do that?
Exactly.
So I think all these things are true. So Kristen came home to me and she said, oh my God, I got like 5 texts from people. Like they were salivating to share this news about Meghan Markle's show. And she started calling people out. Like, it seemed a little too excited about what you determined was a failed attempt by somebody. That's like if you're taking a lot of joy out of a failed attempt on somebody, is that who you want to be? Is a bigger question.
Exactly.
And
That's
I also
the
think
right
it's worth
thing.
delineating because I'm critical, as you know. I'm trying to shut the fuck up about it, but I am critical of people that are allowing someone to make them miserable. As I've said,
Circles back to
it's like
what I said earlier.
2016 to now. If you've been miserable for 9 years or an hour of your day is spent in anger, I just think that's a rough use of your life. Now, if you're seeing the Meghan thing, and you're excited and you share it with your friends and you all gossip and you all have a good time doing that at dinner, I guess I'm not critical of that in a weird way. I feel bad for the subject of the ridicule, but I also can just, again, in a utilitarian way, look at, these 5 people had a really fun dinner for 2 hours gossiping, which is an adaptation of social primates. Like, we're wired to do it.
Yeah.
I guess I also can go, okay, you guys had fun shitting on somebody. Everyone felt better for some reason about themselves.
I mean, that's the part
that's a bummer.
Yeah.
But if the end result was you all did that versus you all got together and you like, this motherfucker, and I can't believe this. Yes, outrage and feeling defeated and overwhelmed and all that. I weirdly have a distinction between those two things.
Yeah, one's harmless and the other one is causing harm, personal harm to them, the people who are doing it. And I mean, I do think it's a privilege to be Kristen or be me. And I'm like watching this, I'm just watching the show and I'm like, oh yeah, like.
I want that bag.
I'm like, oh my God, like I should order some of those tomatoes and make that.
Because you're not frustrated with the outcome of your life.
Exactly. Yeah. I am not like, well, why does she get to have that?
You have plenty.
I think I have plenty.
That's right. I
have more than I should have.
That's right. and I do too. And I'm not as bothered by a lot of things that people are bothered by. And I know it's a privilege. What is so tempting to try to tell people is it is a product of your own. You think this person's objectively one thing.
Yeah, I know.
It's helpful to understand, no, if my cup was full, actually, and shockingly, I wouldn't feel the same way.
I know.
And you kind of want people to know that. Because I think it is helpful for development, which is like, my opinions of things are dramatically impacted by how I feel about my own self and my own outcome.
Yeah.
And I would probably be best served trying to love this version of myself enough that I don't feel anger when other people
are doing well. Real quick facts. This is for Mary Claire Haver. Great episode.
Solid.
My assumption is it's
get that topical vaginal cream, everybody. Go out right now and just start smearing it all over.
She posted about it.
She did?
Uh-huh. It was really sweet and cute because it was out early. And she said she had a good time with us.
Can I Easter egg that I got the text of my life last night that I shared with you guys?
Yeah. We can't say anything else.
I urge people to hang on to the show a little longer. I know a lot of people are thinking about quitting, but just hang out for a couple more months. Wow.
I'm going to have to get a facial.
Hard as
I'm going to
have to jerk off before the interview so I can last during the interview.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to wear really strong pants, not ones that can explode.
You're going to have to be in fucking steel trousers.
Whew.
Might want to go short skirt. I say you go all the way. If ever there was a time to take the biggest shot of your life, you might want to go skirt.
Bra top.
Braless, see-through top.
I do have a new top that is pretty see-through.
Oh my God. And if you did, and this person's a fashion icon, so they would just be like, oh yeah, fashion.
Oh my God, I could maybe get away with it.
I think you should go.
You'd have to blur it, Rob.
Oh, they could.
Yeah, that could
on
be done.
YouTube.
Yeah, no problem.
But
for him, or her, whoever our guest is. Wow, I can't wait for that. That's an even more fun element to think about. Is coming.
How I'm going to show up.
Yes, and how aggressive you'll be. And I just want you to know that I am encouraging you to go above and beyond the realm of what you think is tasteful. And you'll be sitting directly across from this person?
Yeah, but my instinct is to just like play it so cool.
No, go for it.
I know. I don't know.
On your deathbed?
Though. I think this person might be more intrigued by someone playing it so cool.
I don't think so. Let me give you some inside baseball on guys.
Yeah.
There is no guy who's going to see a rockin' bod on display and think, not for me. I mean, there'll be no straight guy who thinks that.
Yeah, Jess says he's starting to turn. The more he hangs out with me.
Oh my God, so you guys might end up
together after all.
What a great time. And then you guys bring back Monty and Jess love boys, but it's like Monty and Jess are married.
Oh. That would be that'd be boring.
Well, no, you'd be fighting.
True.
All this fun you're having would quickly turn to fighting.
True.
That could be entertaining.
Oh, man. Anyway, okay, well, that's TBD for people.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Okay, some facts. Okay, Rob, can you help me? What did you type in to get the names of those guys who did the WIH study?
I looked at Dax's notes for the episode and saw what he wrote down.
That is, I for the life, I was trying so many ways of typing this into Google, and I can't. That's not coming up for me.
Yeah. Do you want me to spell it for you?
Splablowski?
Yeah, let me find it again.
Splablowski and Travowski.
CHLEBOWSKI.
Chlebowski.
And ARAGASKI.
Okay, so these are for the Women's Health Initiative. This is who you say was a part of the study. And this is who...
I could be conflating. I just want to be clear. the stuff I was saying that both Atia and Lane Norton are all over is Schlabowski and Eras.
Okay.
They're the ones that keep doubling down on this bad data.
Okay, so maybe they've doubled down, but I don't think are part of the original study.
Okay.
Dr. Bernadine Healy. This is in 91. She was the female director of the NIH, and she announced her plan for the Women's Health Initiative. There was a ton of people involved in this. And it was a 15-year study. I mean, and it was wrong.
Yeah. It was not right.
It was not right.
And led to a mass panic.
Okay. Now, peak suicide rates for women. Female suicide is concentrated in the 35 to 64-year age group. That's 64.8%.
I don't know why that's so weird for me. I mean,
I get it. I get why it's weird. I wouldn't have expected
weird,
that
but
either.
obviously we were just given the explanation, which is menopause. But it is, it's just not the time. You think that's the time of your life you start fully accepting who you are and what reality is and start transition. Yeah.
But it's those hormones, brain changes, scary. But good to know, like if you're starting to feel.
Yeah, that when you're in the danger zone.
Yeah, exactly.
Higher to the danger zone.
Okay, now male pattern baldness.
MPB. I say one thing?
Yeah.
I was eating at a restaurant this morning. With Nate. He left. I paid. Woman came over to the counter or to my table. And she said, I just want to thank you for the Blaze episode.
Oh.
I have BPD.
Oh my gosh.
And I think that episode probably saved me like 2 years of my trajectory to dealing with this.
Great. So she realized she had it because of
No,
it?
I think she already knew, but hearing from him something he did, she's like, it just kind of like fast forwarded 2 years in the process.
Amazing.
And it was very good for me to meet her because I think a lot of times you're like, BPD, they fuck up the person's life who loves them and you villainize them. And it was very helpful to look at this young woman who's so grateful for help for this thing she doesn't want. Yeah, I was very happy to.
That's lovely.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that.
So fucking good luck, BPD survivors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, it's the first time you've ever said survivors. You don't say survivors.
I don't like that term.
I know.
Yeah.
It was like the most PC you've ever been.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Male pattern baldness doesn't exclusively come from the mother's side. It can be influenced by genes from both parents. The AR gene is located on the X chromosome, which men inherit from their mothers. However, other genes and environmental factors also play a role. If your mother's father has male pattern baldness, you're more likely to have it too. If your father is bald, you're twice as likely to have it. Hormonal fluctuations, nutritional habits, stress level, and lifestyle choices can impact the onset and progression of baldness. Yeah, genetic factors from both parents significantly influence the likelihood.
I'm fighting for my life.
You're doing fine.
I think I'm doing fine in the battle, but I'm fighting with all I got.
Oh, I see. I see.
It's morning and night, that fucking topical that I hate. I hate how it makes my hair feel.
Yeah.
I got to hold my head back so it drips back. It's embarrassing to see me at night in the mirror dealing with trying to keep my hair.
Do you want to do that thing that Ike did?
What did he do?
The PRP?
Oh, I don't believe in it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Great.
What I really want more than anything is for them to figure out how to clone hair. And I want to go in and get my hair cloned and have massive surgery.
Oh.
And get the thickest lion mane head of hair and have long braided hair.
Oh, my
like
God.
a Viking.
Oh,
And maybe I'll be in my Viking outfit for our guest, and you'll be in your outfit. And we'll let the chips fall where they may. Maybe I'll be wearing a kilt, and I'll be
topless.
I'll be in a kilt, crossing and uncrossing my legs repeatedly.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, we're going to be competing.
Oh, this is great. So, 1970. We're doing
This
the river
poor
dance.
guest.
I know, this poor guest.
Oh my God. Okay. And then, real quick. So she said that there are places that you can donate your eggs for free and keep some.
Yeah.
So that's cool. And there's one place called Co-Fertility that does this. I don't know if this is the one she was talking about. I can't endorse this. I don't know much about it, but it is one of the places.
It is something that came up in a Google search.
Yes. If you'd like to look into it, that's a place. All right. That's it for Mary Claire. Thank God she
awesome.
came in. She really rattled me.
I'm going to use another word I don't like.
Say it.
I'm on a roll. She's a rock star.
You don't like that?
No.
I feel like you say it.
Oh, no.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, sorry. The list is long. It's hard to keep track of all the things. Atelier, artisanal, rock
oh my
star.
God, Atelier. This past weekend.
Cuck. I hate the word cuck.
Oh.
That's a thing that like aggro dudes use to try to emasculate other men. They call them a cuck.
That's like cuckold?
Yeah.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
Last weekend, I was doing a long walk. I walked down Sunset. I was doing this whole thing. And I passed a new coffee shop. And I went in and I tried it. And I texted Rob and I asked if he had tried it yet. And then he went the next day and he reminded me there was a merch there that said Atelier on it. Did you buy it?
No, I almost did.
Yeah.
To put in here.
Yeah, I know. I considered it too.
Should we have a
get
t-shirt
it?
that says Armchair Atelier?
I've been saying that.
Yeah, I was just repeating what you said. Just doubling down on what a great idea that you had.
I've been saying that.
Hey.
Okay.
All right, love you.